That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience over there on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Live, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, of course. Glad to have you with us on today's show. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Obviously, a lot of people are wondering right now what's going on with COVID. And obviously, my question is, what's going on with Boba Fett?
Right? He made his big comeback a few weeks ago, and yeah, he's coming back stronger than ever.
So, Mandalorian, obviously, season 2 already done. Do you think it's worth it to go ahead and get it, or is it a good break from the original?
Oh, no. The Mandalorian is an excellent break from the original and this newer trilogy. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. But yeah, no, it's a great series. It got renewed for its third season, which won't come out till next year. Well, obviously, December. But you know what? It got renewed, so I'm happy. And a bunch of other Star Wars shows are coming out as well.
Well, that's the way to go. For those of you tuning in, we appreciate you. It's been a while. It's a little bit of a hiatus we took over here at the station. And joining us right now is Joel Prevost over there at Prevost Partners. Talking to us about tech gear, again, that we definitely are going to want to check out. And I've got a question, obviously, out of the gate. Has anybody been doing VR? If you have been, let me know. It could be quite addicting, actually. So if you have, let us know. But right now, Joel Prevost over there. Good morning, Joel.
Good morning, Aaron. It's good to be back.
Yeah. So talk to me, Joel. What's going on in tech gear?
Oh, always lots of stuff. But you asked about VR. I had a really fun VR meeting this week with some folks, and someone I'm working with is creating a virtual world where you could hold meetings, and we're kind of talking about it for a variety of purposes. But we met in that space with our avatars, and just had the meeting there. And it's in a prototype state, so it's not polished and perfect, but it was really cool and really fun. And he's got some fun stuff built in, like footballs that are in there. It keeps producing footballs, and you're in like an office space. And we were just throwing footballs around, and you could pick up a briefcase and pick up this other cube, and we were trying to play catch with them. And it was a very memorable meeting, and I see a lot of potential with that stuff. It's so fun to play.
Yeah, and anything like team building on any of those projects are pretty cool too. I was looking at a couple games. I'm still behind on things I need to do with that. But here's a question for you. Obviously, last minute gifts are a big thing right now with the holidays just around the corner. Or I know some people are already getting early gifts. Have you gotten any, received any, or recommend any?
We're all caught up on our shopping, but if anybody is in that kind of last minute mode, I've got a few things on the list that you might not be as price sensitive, so these aren't going to be the cheapest items, but they're kind of fun and different. First one to throw out is this Lark Movement self-sanitizing water bottle. Obviously, sanitation is top of everyone's mind for the past year. It's a 32-ounce water bottle that has a UV built into the cap. So when you close the water bottle, it sanitizes the water, sanitizes those parts of the water bottle. Even as people return to the office, I think it's a cool gift because sometimes depending on where you work, you don't have the greatest facilities for cleaning your dishes, so you have to haul it back and forth home to wash it. And so it's just one of those extra layers to protect you from not just, obviously COVID on top of everyone's mind all the time, but anything that you don't want your water bottle, you always want it to be as clean as possible. So it's the Lark, LARQ Movement self-sanitizing water bottle. It is pricey. It's $100. But again, as a gift for someone, you want to, surprise and delight, that's a good example.
It's good to have one of those, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think UV has been proven to be a safe way to really sanitize just about anything. And if it's built into the water bottle, all the better. And so, again, kind of a cool thing if you are looking for somebody for something for somebody who's on the go and always needs their water with them. It'd be probably an upgrade to most people's water bottles.
Well, especially if you go hiking, right? It's a definite ad. You never want Montezuma's revenge.
But no, that's exactly right. And speaking of outdoors and getting out and about, obviously we're heading into winter here, and we've had a really soft winter in Minnesota so far, but we know the snow will come and it's going to be cold. But then when it's dark early and all that stuff, we like to start thinking about brighter days, and so sometimes giving a gift that makes people think about spring and summer can be fun. And with that comes a different level of safety, obviously. With we were talking about UV for sanitation, but UV in terms of from the sun, obviously, isn't good for you. And so there's this item called the My Skin Track. It's a UV sensor that you can wear on your clothes or on a pendant while you're out, and it will track how much UV exposure you're getting. And it also picks up on any of the pollutants in the air, so you can always be aware of your exposure of those types of things for people who are concerned about that, or maybe you have a lot of allergies. It's $60, and it's produced by a company that does skincare products, so they really understand skin and that kind of thing. You can actually get it through Apple. At one point, it was on their website. So it's just a little. Doesn't even have a battery. It's something that you have an app that then scans the item that you're wearing, so you don't have to worry about charging something. It's for someone who's concerned about that kind of stuff, it could be a really meaningful gift. And again, it gets them thinking about maybe those outdoor days that they're looking forward to again as we kind of hunker down for winter.
Well, and when it comes to UV, I mean, that's definitely one thing that they say always put on the the moisturizer or the UV SPF and whatnot,
Yep.
because of the potential for skin cancer. Quick question though, is that something that you think you would want to use, or is that like kind of like, how do you feel about that? If you were given that, would you use that on a daily basis, or?
Well, I'm probably not the greatest example, because I have, I'm this farm kid from Montana who wasn't the greatest about wearing sunscreen. I do more now because I have kids and I'm putting it on them, and then I get reminded I should do it too. So it isn't something that I can really claim to be really good about, but I know plenty of people who are more adamant about how much exposure they're using their sunscreen, but they might have something like that reminds them of, boy, I was getting more exposure today than I realized. We might think about it when we're at a beach, but we might not think about it on a day-to-day basis when we're just out and about. And maybe something like this would help remind them, boy, I need sunscreen, or I need to cover up, even when it's not 90 degrees, because UV, hits us year round. So I could see it being something for especially someone who's really fair-skinned or has skin cancer, hereditary in their family. They might take it a lot more seriously. So again, a meaningful gift for somebody who that's an issue for them maybe.
Yeah, and speaking of smartphones, of course, you've got cool apps and whatnot, but also watches. There's some cool watches that make a good gift. I know some people, they get the Apple Watch, and that's pretty cool too. I've seen that work nicely. What's going on with Fossil though?
Yeah, so some people don't want the super connectivity of an Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch, and you also want some of that functionality for maybe step count, that kind of thing. But so many of those devices look so digital that if you're looking for something that is more of a regular looking watch but has some of those things, Fossil has a $100 watch. It's a good alternative. It's got heart rate monitor, some little weather report to give you an idea, but it looks very much like a normal kind of sporty, but like masculine type watch. They have a variety of colors and stuff. You wouldn't know it's a smartwatch. Withings also create some of those products they're pretty cool. They do your step count, and the batteries are going to last a lot longer on these watches than your souped up smartwatches that are doing texting and email and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good alternative for someone who wants kind of a few of those things, but doesn't want to have a digital watch on their arm or a Fitbit. They want to have something that looks more like a classic watch. They're attractive watches. Sometimes people like to have a couple. If I go out on the town, when those things come back into my life and we're going out, sometimes I don't want to wear my smartwatch like my Apple Watch. I want something that looks more classic if I'm dressing for that. So this kind of watch could do a little bit of both. They're really well designed and look good. And it's from Fossil, which is a popular brand and a good quality watchmaker.
Well, and I think that's good for, what is that, Elephant Christmas, I believe.
That's true.
high stakes.
Right. That's right. Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to throw out was for anyone who's a pet lover, tracking and keeping track of your pet is a good thing. And of course, some people, they get their pet chipped, right, so that they can be identified if they're lost. But having a tracker where you can actually see where they are, the Whistle Go is a location tracker. It has a 10-day battery, so that's a good, over a week of time. $100, but not only is it going to track if you were to, your dog got off the leash or whatever, but it's also tracking their exercise. So kind of like the step counter for us on our watches, these will track how much your dog's been active, or your pet that you put this on, which can be important for people who say, did you walk the dog today? Have you gotten them out for a run and make sure they're staying healthy? People, want to make sure that they're not letting their dogs sit around and be unhealthy. So it makes sure that they're getting enough activity to watch their health in that regard too. So it's people, the pet industry is really kind of amazing how many things come out, and the importance of people's pets in their life. I have a few family members who have gotten dogs this last year, and it's really brought a lot of joy to their families. And so these kinds of things can be really fun gifts this time of year, because I think a lot of people get puppies for Christmas and that kind of thing. So this kind of add-on can be really cool.
Okay, so I have a question. What do you think about a drone that can actually walk your dog for you? Since they're delivering with Amazon and doing drop shipping, I don't know. I mean, literally, boop, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's totally possible. But at the same time, I think so many reasons that people get pets is for the companionship. So if you have a pet and you're really not wanting to take them for that walk, or you don't want to do that and you're having a robot do it, you might want to question, why do you have that pet? I think the idea is you should be spending time with it. And that's what I'm seeing with my family is my brothers and sisters who have dogs, is that's a highlight of their day, is spending that time playing with their dog or taking it out for the walk, because it's good for us too, right, to get out in the elements a little bit and break away from the day. So I just, technology, just because we can do something doesn't always mean we should do it, right? So I would say let's skip that.
Got it. Okay. All right. Enough said. Joel Prevost of Prevost Partners, thank you very much for spending time with us here on the morning show. We'll talk to you next week. All right, bud? All
right. Sounds good. Take care.
All right. Okay, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages with more right after this.
Later, Joel.
All right, let me bring you back. All right. So, good morning. Glad to have you with us on our social media chat a lot over there. Got Rosalie tuning in, says, good morning. Glad to have you, Rosalie. Good to see you. Stephanie Reed from Cleveland, Ohio says, hello, happy editing and on set for commercials. This glorious day for today is awesome. Busy day ahead. Let's see. Katya Wunderland from Switzerland says, hello, Aaron and Jesse. Missed you guys so much. Let's see. Shadow tuning in over there says, good morning, show. Awesome. Got the little, let's see, emojis there as well. So glad to have you with us. I like that with the little thumbs up. Do the thumbs up like that. Then, yeah, there you go. Boom. All right. Let's see. So that's, I mean, have you been thinking of any special gifts for, your personal friends or family, Jesse?
Yeah, a couple of them. I don't think I'll buy a drone that walks a dog though. I can just imagine like 100-pound dog running and this drone just dragging behind him.
Yeah, I could believe that. Well, I think it would be kind of cool, like the Jetsons. I think they had that, didn't they?
Wasn't it like a treadmill or something?
Oh, did he? Yeah, he went on the treadmill as well. That's right, a doggy treadmill. I'm just not sure that I would buy an app to track my dog. You know, I mean, like I'd have to be kind of bored, if that makes sense.
No, well, the tracking thing is actually good if like during the 4th of July, like explosions.
Yeah, but how many steps they take every day? Like,
oh yeah, I don't need to know that.
It's like, oh, Fido, you didn't take as many steps as I asked you to take. And then you have a robotic dog. At what point do you think we're going to have robot dogs, like replace dogs?
I can see robot security dogs, but I can't picture a actual robot dog.
No fleas, no ticks, no veterinarian.
I know it's not the same though.
All right. Okay, let's focus on some news over here.
30 seconds.
I wanted to talk a little entertainment, but let's talk some important news. COVID, of course, some updates. Flu numbers, thankfully, are down. How much time do we have?
20 seconds.
All right, thanks. Well, let me turn down that sound. Open volume mixer.
5 seconds.
That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio. KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. Glad to have you with us. On today's show, we got lots to talk about, including flu numbers are actually down due to higher vaccination rates amid COVID pandemic. Hospitals across the U.S. are nearing critical capacity due to the rise in COVID-19 cases just as the winter flu seasons are beginning to threaten the country. Public officials and doctors are worrying that the worst is yet to come, but increased rates of flu vaccinations may help us avoid a further catastrophic stress on our healthcare system. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's tracking of flu vaccine over the years shows that so far in the 2021 flu season, 189.4 million flu vaccines have been distributed in the U.S. compared to 174 million in the 2019-2020 season. That's paired with stay-at-home orders, masking, social distancing, much more. The question is, what's going to happen around the corner? What do you think is going to happen, Jesse? Are we going to go into more lockdown in January? Because I know I'm seeing some news here. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been watching the news. I don't know. I keep seeing the vaccines being pushed out and stuff like that. So hopefully we won't see these giant spikes. But you know what? The flu is still here and it's going to stay.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about so far in LA. The LA County is reporting in 14,418 new COVID cases, 102 deaths as the pandemic is worsening. The Department of Public Health, 20% of the 4,800 people hospitalized with COVID-19 countrywide are in the ICU. Meanwhile, the rollout of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine continued after it was received by 9 pre-designated sites across the country. The statement, the health department has expressed hope that the second vaccine, manufactured by Moderna, will receive emergency use authorization by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Thursday's new data was released hours after California officials announced that the Southern California region's ICU capacity had now dropped to 0%. So California reported a staggering 52,000 new cases in a single day, equal to what the entire U.S. was averaging in mid-October, and a one-day record of 379 deaths. So obviously, here we are. It's complicated. Obviously, lots of theories. I know I was listening or watching a show yesterday, which was discussing a different type of coronavirus, which had mutated. I believe in Europe. I don't know if you heard of that, but that was an interesting one. Yeah. So there you go. But all right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages with more right after this. Stay tuned. All right, let's see. Okay, let's bring back. Good morning, Maria says, wow, good morning, Aaron, Jesse, missed you so much. The one day I don't check in, you're live. Hey, you know what? It works out like that. That's good. Yeah. Jesse's on to me. Too much VR. It's true. Way too much. Got to get off that headset. All right. Let's see. Where else are you guys tuning in? Renee says, all right, right on. Go on, Aaron. Okay, so let's talk some entertainment. Let's talk some fun, because obviously being Friday, we're looking at, what's going on in the weekend? What are you going to do, Jesse? Because I know Wonder Woman's coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, Wonder Woman comes out next week on theater, HBO Max. I want to see it on theater, so I'll probably watch it on HBO Max, but I'll probably end up going to the drive-in just so I can watch it on the bigger screen.
Yeah.
But no, there is another movie that came out today. It's probably going to be a dumpster fire or some cheesy action movie, but you know what? That's what I want. I want to just kick back and eat some popcorn and just not think. Monster Hunter comes out today, based on the video game.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that comes out.
All right. I'm trying to look here at let's see. Gal Gadot says she was interviewed as part of Warner Media's Justice League investigation.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big situation there. But Little House on the Prairie reboot is in the works. Did you ever watch that?
I'll be honest, I've never watched it. My mom loves it. So the only reason I know about Little House on the Prairie is because my mom loves it and she watches it. She watches it still today.
Oh, really? She's like,
yeah, she does. She watches it and yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Yeah. So I used to watch it as a kid, but every time I hear that, because it's always in syndication, how does it go? Dun, 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 dun,
40 seconds. And that's really good.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I hated that song though after a while. I was like, oh, not Little House on the Prairie. Because my dad and I and my mom, we would watch it. He'd record them all the time. So I knew them by heart. Laura Ingalls from little young to teenager and then some, right? Until she becomes a teacher. So, yeah. But they're doing a reboot of that. So,
I think I might give it a watch. 5 seconds. Maybe.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Twitter. Glad to have you with us. Let us know where you're tuning in from. The weather, cold, warm, hot. Yesterday I actually was speaking to an individual. He said, it was hot one day and it was cold another. I don't know what I'm going to get. So let us know what it is like in your neck of the woods. Of course, lots of other stuff going on, especially in entertainment. How are you spending your time off? Let's see. Maria says, I got HBO Max yesterday to get the movies. We won't get them when you all do. We have to wait 3 months here. And no theaters are open in Canada anyways. Of course, a lot of people wondering what is going on with that, especially with Wonder Woman coming out. I know that was the discussion we had a while back, Jesse. So it looks like pretty much it's only going to be on HBO Max then, huh? Or maybe the drive-in? I don't know.
I'm hoping it's going to be on the drive-in because, I know a lot of locations don't have drive-ins. So people in Riverside, they're lucky. They get a drive-in. They actually have 2.
Oh, really? Can you give us the addresses or the locations?
I know there's one. It's called the Van Buren Drive-In in Riverside. And I think there's one and I know I'm going to say it wrong. It's spelled Jurupa. Jurupa?
Oh, yeah, Jurupa.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. I'm pretty close.
Someone said Harupa, but now I'm like, there's no H in there. But whatever.
I guess if you're Spanish, you would say that, yeah, right? Jurupa. Or I used to see people type in Jajaja, and I thought it was ja, not knowing it was ha ha ha. You get where I'm going with that. So there's that. Okay, let's focus a little bit. I'm feeling a little strained today. I think I didn't get enough sleep. I'll tell you right now. Are you getting enough sleep during COVID? With different hours, different time. Obviously, there are sleeping aids. Do you have an idea of something that either calms you, essential oils? I know a while back I used to get lavender essential oils, and that was nice for what do they call those? The diffusers. Does that help you? They got lavender, they got mint, they got others. I think that's a good gift, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's a good gift. I love those scent things. Candles.
you have your own little spa area because sometimes it just stinks. It's just like, what is the smell? Oh, it's nasty. Okay, no, but and then we've got let's see, a lot of other things going on. Mandalorian. Let's go back to Mandalorian. Jesse, you've been able to see the first and second season almost, but I'm asking because I guess there's like a big surprise, and I guess a Boba Fett is in the situation. Can you describe that?
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't want to post anything online because I figure I'll wait till spoilers. But you know what? Yeah, Boba Fett actually makes a comeback, and they actually show what he's capable of instead of, in the original movies he has like what, one or two scenes and then he falls into the pit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in the Mandalorian he gets his glory on, and it goes to show why he's a bounty hunter. It was pretty awesome. Amazing fight scenes in the Mandalorian.
Well, and also, look, it's just fun to watch that, right? Baby Yoda and the like. They're just so cute. But Coming to America's first images are teasing their loyal returns. Do you remember that, Coming to America? I mean, that was like what, back in the 80s, right?
I love that movie. I love it.
Yeah. So, in some first look photos released, they're reuniting Eddie Murphy with Arsenio Hall, traveling from their beloved Zamunda back to Queens, New York, where their adventures first began. In one of the new pictures, the pair appeared to even make a visit to the iconic barbershop. The film, directed by Craig Brewer, will be released on Prime Video March 5th, 2021. In addition to returns from cast members like Murphy, Hall, James Earl Jones, new additions include Jermaine Fowler, Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, and much more. So, look, some fun. I think they're starting to exercise caution, of course, not even talking about going back to the movie theaters and saying, we're just going to do it on Prime Video. So just get ready for that. Speaking of the Star Wars, Jeremy Bulloch, unfortunately, the British actor who played the character Boba Fett in the original Star Wars trilogy, has died. He's aged 75. His agents confirmed in a statement to CNN that Bulloch passed away on Thursday, December 17th. He died peacefully in the hospital, surrounded by his family from health complications following his many years living with Parkinson's disease. Says he had a long and happy career spanning more than 45 years. He was devoted to his wife, 3 sons, 10 grandchildren, and they will miss him terribly. They are asking the privacy be respected at this very difficult time. He played the role of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian bounty hunter, in the 1980 movie Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and in the 83 sequel, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. He went on to attend many Star Wars conventions over the years, was celebrated by fans all over the world. The role of Boba Fett, of course, was reprised in 2002 with Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with the character being played by the actor Daniel Logan, who also wrote on Twitter, quote, "I will never forget all you taught me and all the good times we had together. You will be forever remembered." How cool is that, though, Jesse?
That's really cool. It's really sad that he passed away, but you know what? He made a lot of memories for certain people, and he should be proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We've got some comments in social media. Mario says, "Oh my God, no spoiler alerts." Grr. I'm sorry. I figured I'd give you a hint to want to get there. Okay, it's top news story. I know I usually don't like to do that. I haven't seen it yet, so let me know how it's good. Temescal's tuning in. Thank you. Also, let's see. Melvin says, "My worry is that the recent person in Canada who got vaccinated and had an allergic reaction to the vaccine. I'd like to know what part of the vaccine did this." I do not know of that. That's new information to me. I know, again, like I said here on the morning show, we were going to have situations come up immediately from that vaccine. Although I believe Vice President Pence was pretty open about getting his vaccine on air. And I think also Ian McKellen did as well. So, there you go. If Magneto can, I kind of wonder about that, though. Just because he's Magneto, does that make him impervious to a vaccine situation? What? I mean, he could push it. Remember when he did that in X-Men where he brought the metal and then he's like, "Oh, I see there's metal." And then he raised the guard, and that was kind of cool. I think we should be able to do that in real life, or at least virtual life. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Be like, hey, dude, come to me, remote control. Okay. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right. Let's see. All right, let's go and see who else is over here. Let's see. Renee says, "Oh, Star Wars, yeah." Let's see. We've got also. Although I'm sad, Jesse, that we don't have Disneyland, which has the Star Wars land. They put so much money into that, and I think they have Avengers now ready to go, right?
I think so. I'm really sad. And you know what? I remember. I think we were talking about in the beginning of the year they were gonna make a Super Mario World park in
Nintendo.
Yeah, at the Universal in Japan. I can't remember what part, but I think it's ready. I want to go.
Yeah, well, that's my point. With Japan, I would love to travel there and just do that, but I guess we'll see. I know they lost a lot of money because they wanted to open it last year, so you got to wonder how much they've lost. But speaking of loss, of course, a lot of people wondering how are they going to pay their rent, right? I know my mom's kind of like, well, what do I do, right? So, what are people going to do? And that's kind of the question right now. Are you finding it difficult to pay your rent? Many people are. It's also known as the rent crisis, which you got to imagine administration will do something about this quite soon, and I'm sure they will. Evictions are of course expiring soon as far as the evictions ban, but that was a moratorium that was temporary depending on what was going to happen. I don't see them all of a sudden saying, okay, it's done and over. I think they'll extend it just like they did. I think they did it for a month or a month and a half, and then they extended it over the winter. Again, I think they're going to do it probably till March or April or May even, but we'll see what happens.
30 seconds.
In fact, if you're finding it difficult, let us know on social media. We want to hear it. I know sometimes people don't want to say good morning. Fran's tuning in over there. Good morning. Good to see you over there.
5 seconds.
Bobby Stamps over there. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course, our great friends online. Don't forget, we're on the Alexa. All you have to say is, Alexa, want to listen to KMET 1490 AM each and every day. We've got lots of great programming on here. Speaking of which, a little bit later on, we've got some great programmers that you might want to tune into. Who do we got on today, Jesse?
Let's see. After you, we have Heart to Heart, which they deal with addiction problems, codependency. Really good to listen to. And then after that, we have Julie Talks Money, who helps you save money. So that's always a good listen to right before Dave Ramsey.
I'm glad she's talking money because I need some money. Don't you?
I think we all need money in this time.
I know. I think we need some digital currency just flowing. Whatever happened to Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin still? Because I know people trade on Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's still around. There's other cryptocurrencies as well. I don't know which ones, but they're still going around.
Yeah, and there's so many. I often go, which one do you get? Like, which one do you invest in, or which one? And does anybody actually take the pay, or can you convert it into dollars, or how does that work? Do you know?
I think you can convert it into dollars. There are places where you can convert Bitcoin into actual cash. I remember watching a documentary on Netflix about the history of Bitcoin. Really interesting on how it started. And if I could, I would go back in time and I would buy as much Bitcoin as I can.
Yeah,
I think Bitcoin can be worth up to like what, 15, 20,000.
I just remember people making like buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis all of a sudden. I was like, and then all of a sudden it kind of like lulled. But I'm wondering, you know, with the economy where it's going, if that's going to be a situation in the future. I don't know. I think it's a cross-platform media exchange service, which will probably, you know, maybe the next year and a half will be something kind of pretty regular. But Little House on the Prairie, do you think it should be made into a reboot? Some people are wondering. According to Entertainment Weekly, they've learned that Paramount TV Studios and Anonymous Content is developing a long-awaited reboot of Little House on the Prairie as a 1-hour dramatic series adaptation. Trip Friendly, whose dad, Ed, bought the TV and movie rights to Laura Ingalls Wilder autobiographical novels, is expected to serve as an executive producer. There have been few efforts to resurrect Little House on the Prairie, the long-running Michael Landon star on NBC that followed Laura Half-Pint Ingalls, played by Melissa Gilbert, and of course her family's life on the farm in the late 1800s. Now, I got to ask you, Jesse, if you could live at any century, what century would you live in? Would you want to live in the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s, the 1500s, or the 1400s, or just like forget all that and then just live right here and now?
Honestly, if I can change my like shade of color, I might be up for living in the past. But yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Wait, what do you mean change your shade of color? Okay, explain.
Because when I'm in the sun, I can get a bit dark. The reason I'm kind of light skinned is because I tend to stay in the dark. But if I were to stay out in the sun, I would get really dark. So yeah, we all know that in the past, you know, darker people don't have the best of times. So if anything, I'd probably rather go to the future. Hopefully things will be better.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. It was a discussion I had about, you know, like being a slave to somebody else's mind, right? Sometimes people are a slave to their own mind because sometimes their own mind says you can't do it, you're not good, you're not smart enough and whatnot. But sometimes you're a slave to other people and their mindset, right? When they command you, make you do things, right? And it's a little difficult to implement, you know, your own personality. But what I can say is sometimes, you know, I think in ways of like, you know, what generation would be an easier generation to live in other than another generation? Like, you know, early 1950s, if you were a Mexican American and or African American, you had it completely different than you do now, right? I mean, like opposite to the nth degree. And then you go like, a couple hundred years before that, and it's just terrible. You know, you get shot just for running away. And you wonder, well, where's the humanity in that? So, of course, the question always begs itself, are you becoming a slave to, you know, somebody else, maybe a mindset? Maybe it could be a friend who's always, you know, you think of something, for example, and they're like, oh, that's stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't want to be with that person. You want to be able to move yourself up the line with people that actually say, you know what, go with that, rock with that, right? People that believe in you and will help you accomplish what you need to accomplish. Those are the people that you need in life. Don't be slaves to people's limiting beliefs on what you can or can't do when you yourself know you could do so much more if you just believe in yourself. So yeah, that's a good point, Jesse, because I think sometimes, and I sometimes beg the question of, you know, when you do get created here on the earth, does it ever happen to where somebody goes, wait, like, you know, they flip it sometimes, right? Like those that kind of believe in reincarnation or coming back and doing it again, like in one area are they, you know, let's say African American, then they get, you know, chastised or whatnot, and then they come back, they do it again. Like, you know, does that question ever boggle the mind of yours, or have you ever thought of that?
You talk about like if well, not karma, but like if you're bad in one life, you'll be bad in the next, or something like that.
Yeah, or just like I kind of go like I always go back to like Nazi Germany. I wonder how many Germans actually that were on the flip side of it, and then all of a sudden, you know, they end up becoming Jewish on the flip side of that when they, you know what I mean? I don't know where this comes from, but I would think that would be and it's interesting, humbling experience. But who knows? Maybe it's not. It just is a thing. Who knows? All right, we're going to take one more break here on the morning show because we got to pay the bills over here at the station. Make it a good one. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. Oh wow, Jesse. Okay, so there's puppy scams. Have you heard of this?
No, don't say that.
I know. Why would you do a puppy scam during coronavirus? I guess because you can, right?
What do you mean puppy scam? I'm already heartbroken as it is. So
okay, never mind. I won't say it.
I don't take things with animals too lightly. So there are three things that really set me off: animal abuse, child abuse, and people taking my food. So yeah.
Okay, like taking it without asking, or asking and then saying, "Ooh, that looks good," or like insinuating, like you're like, "I'm not going to offer it." Are you? Which are you?
No, I usually order a little bit extra if I'm sitting next to someone because sometimes hands slip, and they be grabbing my fries or onion rings.
Oh man, I went to In-N-Out last night, and oh yeah, got some good French fries. Oh, so good. But my mom was like, "Ooh, I haven't had a burger in a long time." I was like, "Oh no, Mom, feel kind of bad."
One minute,
self-isolating a little too much, but
right?
There you go. Okay, let's go back to the social media chat room over there.
40 seconds. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, you should watch that Bitcoin documentary.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix, you said, or Amazon?
Yes, yeah. No, it was on Netflix. That's what I watched it on.
Bees and penicillin, they caused shit about.
Oh.
What does that mean? Well, Gina says, "Oh, yes, Bitcoin. Slap me and call me Tina Turner." I don't know where she got that from. I don't. Okay.
Yes, second. 2 seconds coming back.
All right, thanks. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, our good friends on Twitter. Alexa, get the Alexa app. We appreciate each and every one of you. On today's show, we're talking about this situation, puppy scams. Do you know that they're happening right now? Sylvia Lopez was laid off from her job because of the pandemic. She saw an adorable puppy named Ted online for $400. The price advertised as a promotion. She bought the puppy, paid more than $800 to have it flown from Virginia to her home in Texas, where she and her family were in quarantine. Thousands of dollars later, after fees, crate payment, the emails from the breeder and the recommended courier company, that abruptly stopped. Voicemail, text messages were all of a sudden not returned. Ted never arrived. Lopez's request for a refund were met with silence. Lopez, who's 63, who provided emails and electronic records of the transaction, said, "I was a trusting fool and I paid the price for it. I thought, okay, this is going to be very simple. I pay money, I get the dog." But that just didn't happen. She said she had a very emotional letdown. That's hard, when you expect like this little puppy to come into your beautiful home and or realm of influence, and you're just like, "Oh, come here, a little," nah, and then you're out of the money. What would you do, Jesse?
Have you ever seen the movie Taken? No, but
I
yeah.
have not.
Okay, good. No, you have. Maybe. Have you? But
How does it go, Jesse?
I don't remember. But I would be heartbroken. It's such a horrible thing to do. But you know what? I think isn't there something where it says don't buy from breeders and stuff like that? You should adopt. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, don't buy from breeders. It's look, I get it for like pure breeds, and I'm not gonna knock it if you're gonna do it, and if you're gonna take care of the animal, but there's so many just left out there, you know.
Then home.
Yeah, they just need a home, and they're in the shelters, and you know during this time of the year, actually, if you don't have a dog, I will say it is, and or if you're alone, that's one of the best things you could do is get a dog, right? I mean, just imagine like coming home and or having that little puppy always, of course, smiling at its like biggest stage of saying, "Oh, you're here," and you're just like, "Oh, come here," right? And you get a give them a treat and they get happy just to see you. That there's some joy in that, right? So
Oh, yeah.
I recommend that. But consumer groups are saying that these experiences like Lopez's have become very common this year as Americans are seeking to foster, adopt, and buy dogs and cats as they isolate at home. In November, the latest month for which it had complete figures, the Better Business Bureau received 337 complaints from people about scams compared with 77 in November of 2019. Scammers are notorious for preying on people who are vulnerable during natural disasters, but the isolation of the pandemic, of course, has created fertile ground for those looking to exploit people who, of course, are seeking the comfort of four-legged companions, mostly puppies. So, of course, the recommendation is be careful out there, do the references, make sure the checks come in. There's so many different ones. It's sad. And you know, $1,000 on a dog that you don't ever get makes you kind of wonder where have people gone with humanity? How dumb can they get? So, okay, let's go back to social media chat room over there and got some information here about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is worth $23,000 a coin at the moment. So just get Jesse. Like, what does that mean though? How many coins did you get at one point? Is it like how does that work, Jesse?
I think you get like 0.1% of Bitcoin. You know what? I don't know. I could be making stuff up. I have no idea. I should really rewatch that documentary. I don't know how Bitcoin works. It's really cool though. I need more info.
Yeah, me too. And then regarding the dog situation, we've got Stephanie Reed says, well, it does depend on the breeder. I bought my Himalayan kitty, Emma, from a breeder, and he was a retired vet tech. And again, it does matter. That's why I can't be all dogmatic on one. Get it? Dogmatic?
My issue is, you know what? Do like double check on the breeders that you're buying from.
Yeah.
Reviews and stuff like that.
Thank you. That's exactly what you got to do. Mario says, we have 2 dogs and a cat in the house. It's awesome. All the way from Canada. Thank you for tuning in. And Isaac Urquidez tuning in says, buy from a local breeder if you're not going to rescue, but rescue is more important. So there you go. All right, people, we've run out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. We'll see you again coming up Monday around the corner. Stay tuned for more right after these messages. We'll be right back. Later.